But listen, Miss Pugh, don't speak over me. Miss Pugh, just because you say respectfully does not mean that you get to interrupt me. That's disrespectful, right? Hang on. Listen, Miss Pugh, stop talking over me. If you want to stop talking over me.
Where is the verified claim that is being placed against my trust?
You can go back with the bailiff. Go back with the bailiff. Get your own attorney or represent yourself if you don't like it.
All right, guys. Today we've got a strict judge and a defendant using sovereign citizen style arguments going head-to-head in court. She walks in carrying a small piece of paper that appears to contain the usual script and arguments often associated with these cases, seemingly confident that she's about to introduce something that will completely change the outcome. She clearly believes she's got a strategy ready, but if you've watched these kinds of hearings before, you already know things don't always play out the way people expect. This one definitely looks like it's going to be interesting.
Good morning. Are you Janetta Pugh?
I am the beneficiary of that estate.
You're the what?
I am the beneficiary of that estate.
You're the beneficiary of what estate? Answer my questions, please, ma'am. I'm just trying to understand. Okay.
For the record, I recognize Ms. Pugh. She's been here before.
I do as well, for the record.
And I looked into Mr. Christopher Wiley. I can't find that person as a practicing lawyer in the state bar page, and I have not been contacted by anybody on Ms. Pugh's behalf.
All right, so Ms. Pugh, Mr. Lewis has been appointed to represent you at this point. Obviously, you know as well as anyone that you're in custody and we want to get your case taken care of. If you've hired or your family has hired another lawyer, then they have to contact the court so that we can do something with your case. And do you know if they've hired someone?
Respectfully, Your Honor, I do not agree with your appointed foreign agents, considering that the first duty is to the state and will be considered conflict of interest.
Okay, so if you don't want, the only thing I can do, I'm appointing an attorney to you to help you, right? So if you don't want a court-appointed attorney, then your only option, two things. One is to represent yourself or to hire a lawyer. So if you don't like the way it works, then you do something different. So are you, listen to what I'm saying. Are you either going to represent yourself, or are you going to let Mr. Lewis represent you, or are you going to hire someone?
Objection, Your Honor. Respectfully, is this a court of record?
It is a court of record. So your objection's overruled.
Okay. Respectfully, Your Honor, where is the verified claim that is being placed against my trust?
It's right here. It's called an indictment. And Mr. Lewis has a copy of it, and he can show it to you. So that would be the verified claim against you.
Okay. Your Honor, respectfully, Your Honor, there were writs that was filed to the case that still haven't been received.
I've received your petition for writ of habeas corpus, and it's denied.
Okay. Respectfully, Your Honor, I demand to be released due to lack of evidence of stated claim and not being given the proper opportunity to obtain proper counsel, defective defense.
It's overruled.
Okay.
You're running out, aren't you?
No, it's fine.
No, it is not fine. Right now she's making her situation look a lot worse, and the contrast between her approach and the judge's reaction is honestly pretty interesting to watch. The judge is sitting there, appearing patient while allowing her to work through the argument she's trying to make. What makes these moments stand out is that people using sovereign citizen-style arguments often seem convinced they've discovered some hidden legal shortcut or technicality that changes everything. But courts have repeatedly rejected many of these arguments. Simply saying "I do not consent" doesn't automatically make charges disappear or remove a court's authority.
So here's the thing, Ms. Pugh. I appreciate your position, but listen, Ms. Pugh, don't speak over me. Ms. Pugh, just because you say respectfully does not mean that you get to interrupt me. That's disrespectful, right? Hang on. Listen to me. Everything you have there is overruled. And here's one of the reasons why, is because you have a lawyer. And your lawyer will file the appropriate motion. You're interrupting me again, which is disrespectful. So I'm going to leave Mr. Lewis as your attorney unless you choose to represent yourself or hire someone else. I'm going to give you 2 weeks to determine what you're going to do. You can go back. You can go back with the bailiff.
I do not agree or comply to your appointed.
Go back.
Agents.
You already said that, and that's overruled. Go back with the bailiff. Get your own attorney or represent yourself if you don't like it.
Yeah, that was definitely an awkward moment. But hold on, because this isn't over yet. This defendant actually comes back for another hearing later on, and don't worry. I've got that one covered to the T this point, though I have to give some credit to the judge because these kinds of hearings can clearly test someone's patience. The judge is trying to work through arguments that don't seem to be landing, while also keeping the hearing moving and maintaining control of the courtroom.
Perfect. So, Ms. Pugh, Mr. Jeffries has been appointed to represent you. He's just been given, he's trying to get caught up real quickly on all the information and the discovery in your case. I'm going to reset your case so that he can get all of that. Once he gets it, he'll be out there to go over it with you, and we'll see if we can get an announcement at the next court date.
Respectfully, Your Honor, I do not agree to comply with any of your appointed court agents, considering that their first duty is to the state.
I understand. We've had this conversation before.
And for your record, I'll be representing myself.
So if you want to represent yourself, there's some things. Ms. Pugh, stop talking over me. If you want to stop talking over me. If you want to represent yourself, then there is a process that we have to go through, and we'll do that today if that's what you want to do. We'll get your case set for trial and we'll go forward that way. It is highly inadvisable for you to represent yourself. Lawyers have many, many years of training. They understand the law. They understand how a trial works, because here's what happens. When you're in a trial and you represent yourself, you're expected to know and follow all of the rules of evidence, all the rules of procedure. And so you're really at a disadvantage if you don't know those things. And so you have to do everything just like the assistant district attorney would. And if you don't, you're going to be in front of a jury and it's going to show, and it's just not going to be, it usually does not work out in your benefit. But I have to go through with you some questions first before we do that. And then if you still want to do that, then there's a couple of things couple of options, and we'll go over those as well. Okay. So I am supposed to ask you, I'm going to go through these questions. I need you to answer them if you want to represent yourself, because this is required. All right. So have you ever studied the law? Okay. Have you ever represented yourself before in any kind of criminal matter? Okay. Do you understand the charges against you?
I know we've been accused of.
Okay. And so do you know, and we've gone over before, I think, what the range of punishment is if you're found guilty on a jury? Do you know what that is? Let's see. Hold on a second. Let me pull you up here. We'll go over that again as well. The date of that allegations from June 22nd of 2021. And what that means is if you're found guilty, that the range of punishment that the jury could give you is between 2 years as a minimum punishment up to 10 years in prison, anywhere in between. Do you understand? And did you answer out loud just for the record?
Do I understand? No, I don't understand.
What do you not understand about that?
I swear I was predicting her to say that right there. Believe it or not, guys, after watching so many of these sovereign citizen style hearings, I'm starting to feel like I can predict the script before it even happens. To this point, hearing the same arguments over and over becomes almost surreal because the pattern is so familiar. The confidence is always there, but the arguments themselves often don't seem to gain much traction in court. It's honestly fascinating to watch play out in real time. One thing that does stand out, though, is that court systems and law enforcement operate with limited time and resources, so lengthy hearings built around arguments that repeatedly fail can create real strain on the process.
I don't understand, Your Honor.
So here's the thing. If you want to represent yourself by law, you have to be able to understand these things. Otherwise, I've got to appoint an attorney for you. So you can't just say, I want to represent myself because I don't like the attorney or I don't like the process. This is the process that you're in. You live in Texas, you live in the United States. This is the law that applies to your case. So what do you not understand about the range of punishment if you're found guilty? And I'd be glad to explain it.
I don't understand because I'm gonna be able to do that.
That's what a jury's for, right? And so if you say you're not guilty, then you go in front of a jury and they determine after they listen to the evidence if you're guilty or not. That doesn't have anything to do with if they find you guilty, you understanding that they could send you to prison for between 2 years and up to 10 years. Do you understand that part? What are you, yes or no? No, you don't understand that. So, Ms. Pugh, it's my understanding, I'm not going to allow you to represent yourself because you don't understand the law and the process. So we're on question number 4 out of 15 that I'm supposed to ask you. So Mr. Jeffries is going to stay on your case. I don't care what you want at this point. You can't do it. All right, you can go back with the bailiff. I'm done. Go back with the bailiff. Go back with the bailiff. Welcome to the criminal appointment list.
Yeah, fun, Judge.
This was not meant to be any kind of punishment, I promise. So Mr. Jeffries, just, get ready like you would. Probably it's going to go straight onto a jury. And we'll just get it figured out that way. All right.
I think this judge did a 10 out of 10 job. Let me know if you disagree. But from what I saw, she seemed to do everything she reasonably could to give the defendant a fair hearing before ultimately bringing the situation under control. The patience on display was honestly impressive. She appeared to give multiple opportunities for explanations and arguments to be presented, even when the discussion kept circling back to points that didn't seem to be moving things forward. Keeping a courtroom on track while remaining composed isn't always easy, at the same time. There's also something a little frustrating and even sad about watching situations like this unfold. You can see moments where opportunities are given to explain or adjust course, but sometimes the direction of the hearing already seems pretty clear.